me take a... Okay, yeah, I think we should...
I didn't want to be a problem. I just thought as people join in more, I think. I know Franklin. I'm just going to put that out there.
Very clever, yes.
I can play a few chords.
Never plays on a Friday night, so no one's expecting Franklin tonight. But tomorrow is another story and we'll lay it all out.
I'll do my best with what I can do.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No, I think that's really nice. And I think what's even nicer is to just play the instrumental just to get everyone to settle, and then we'll launch into Shalom Aleichem and then
Like straight away. Okay. Perfect. So tell me when and I'll...
Yeah, I think goes
Yeah?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Well done for braving the cold and being here on the first Shabbat of 2026. We'll begin as we always do by welcoming each other with Shalom Aleichem before we light candles together and properly bring in Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, welcome to all of you who are at home. I'm about to put my microphone on, which means that you'll hear me better. But Shalom Aleichem on page 4, or if you're using Lech Hadash, right at the beginning of the Shabbat services. So let me give you your page number 70. Someone help me. 76. 76. Into this new Gregorian year, and an invitation for those at home and for us here to set an intention of what we would need and want for ourselves as we light candles for this first Shabbat. So I'm really happy to ask Kathy and Caroline, who are both marking yard sites this Shabbat, to come and light candles together. Stand if you're able, if you're at home, this is your moment, find your place for where you want your candles to be lit. There are matches there. Amen. Thank you. And I think for the first one of this year, a Shehechianu for all of us, for having been kept upright and sustained, alive, and allowed to arrive at this moment, which I really feel for some of us is no small thing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. So we go into Lachadodi now, and an introduction. Hannah is a child of the community and has come back this Shabbat to be accompanying us. Hannah normally is the person that does all our beautiful emails and posters, and which she does on the side as she's just completed her master's in opera singing, as you can hear. So it's really lovely that Hannah grew up here, is well known in the community, and is with us for this first Shabbat. So we go into Lachadodi now. And Lachadodi, Dan, a member of council and regular for Kabbalat Shabbat services, said, what about if we learned a little bit about every prayer, one prayer at a time, every Shabbat? And it seems a lovely thing to be able to reflect on. And the first prayer that I thought would really be meaningful for us is Lachadodi. Lachadodi that we sing, no matter what else we sing, we always sing Lachadodi. And Lachadodi is a particular song for Kabbalat Shabbat, which means literally receiving Shabbat. If you've ever been, thank you. If you've ever been to a wedding in Israel, you'll know that the reception is called Kabbalat Panim, literally to receive the faces of the guests who are there. And that's exactly what we do with Lachadodi. It was a hymn or a piyut, was written in the 16th century using a line from the biblical book Song of Songs, which is usually used a great deal for weddings. We also use it for Pesach. And that line is, "Come my beloved, my bride." And the metaphor, of course, is that Shabbat is like a bride to God, and that we as the Jewish community, this is our moment of calm, of meaning, of welcoming this day, which is considered to be the most critical or meaningful day of our week because of its comparison with the other days of work. Many have spoken about Judaism being less a religion of space with beautiful cathedrals and more a religion of time, where we mark out time to make meaning for ourselves. So Shlomo Alkabetz was a scholar who was born in the Ottoman Empire in the city of Thessaloniki, who ended up becoming one of the Kabbalists of Sfat and writing and working in the 15th century. And what he did was to take the idea of Rabbi Hanina, who's spoken about in the Talmud, who would go out to the city limits to try to draw people in for Shabbat, to make it a physical thing, to make people feel part of congregation, part of community. And from there we get this strange idea of standing for the last verse. So we literally, physically are welcoming Shabbat and also welcoming any latecomers to the service with all the warmth that we can muster. In some communities, those who are mourning, they stand for that moment. And that way, everyone recognizes who is mourning, who is marking a yahrzeit, who has just lost someone beloved to them. But either way, this song is really meant to draw us into Shabbat. And that after we've sung Lachadodi, then we're ready to pray properly as a congregation together. So Lachadodi, stand, sit as you choose for that last verse, but really know that there is meant to be warmth and joy and closeness in this song.
Lachadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lachadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shalom zahor b'dibo ehad, ishmi anu ehad yuhad Adonai ehad u'shemo
likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nekabela. Lehala hadudi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat luhuven elcha, ki himaku haraha, merosh mikedem nesuha, sof mazi berashahatihi la 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 lechadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, lehala hadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech melucha, hu itzi mitoch hafecha, rav nashevet b'mekabaha, v'hu yatman aichem la 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 lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Poi v'shalom ha'tere bala, kam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emuni am segula, boi hala, boi li hala, leha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, leha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
So we say standing for the Baruch Hu. We're on page 92 in this Siddur. And if you are using Resold, you continue just past Lachadodi to find the Baruch Hu on page 9.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed.
So we mark light and darkness as we read together Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv ha'arvim v'chochma potech sha'arim uvidvuna v'shanei etim u'machalif et hazmanim u'masadeh et hakochavim b'mishmoretehem barakia kirtzono barayom v'layla golelo mipnei choshech v'hoshech mipnei or u'mavi yom u'mevi layla u'mavdil ben yom u'ben layla Adonai tzavaot shema Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. We praise you, O God, you darken day into evening.
Ahavat olam, et Yisrael, ana
for the Shema, whatever feels right for you, as we offer our watchword of faith. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Leolam Vaed.
Vahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha. V'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavaha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'leftecha b'derech, u'v'shoppecha u'kumecha. Ukashatam la'ot al yadecha, v'hayu la'totafot beinenecha, ukatavtam al muzot betecha, u'visharecha. Laman tizkaru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kadoshim lelohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lahem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. So let's sit down. In the Musar tradition, which was created in the 17th century by Israel Salanta, a way of bringing a kind of mindful integrity of living to Jewish thought, where midot, words, ideas were used as ways of training our souls to cope. And this week's Torah portion is linked to the midah of truth, to the idea that we struggle with truth and how to be truthful all our lives. And the reason why it's chosen, and this is the last portion of the book of Genesis, this Shabbat Vayechi, and it's chosen because Jacob dies and he approaches death, and he starts to talk about death to his children, and he starts to ask what will happen to his body and tells everyone what he wants. But Jacob famously is someone who really struggled with the truth throughout his life. And we see that in how he tricks and deceives his brother and his father to get the older birthright. We see that even when he meets his grandchildren for the first time, and he says to Joseph about his two sons, "Who are they?" And you can imagine rabbis, commentators have struggled with this. Did Jacob not know that they were Joseph's children? Or did Jacob really just struggle with the truth of who they were and of what the journey that Joseph had been on to get to Egypt, and indeed his place in the family and everything that had happened with the way Jacob had chosen to parent by really pitting his children against each other? And so I think really it's such a gift this week as we read in our prayer book the words Emet ve'emunah kol zot. This is all true and something we can rely on, to really as an invitation to really think about how does truth play out in each of our lives.
How do we struggle? How do we cope with it? Does it come naturally? Are we always wanting to save or protect others from truth? Some commentators say that Joseph didn't want to tell Jacob how he ended up in Egypt because it would cause him too much distress to know that it was his other sons that had behaved so badly. So instead, he protects Jacob from the truth and focuses instead just on the grandchildren. But just to think for a moment of how truth lays itself out. Are there things you wish you could say and yet don't? Do you sometimes see truth as a way of protecting others or protecting others from the truth? So just thinking about how truth plays out in your own life, I'm just going to lead us in the English of the translation of Emet v'emunah kol zot. All this we hold to be true and sure, as in the words of the Shema. You alone, Eternal One, are our God. We are Israel, your people. You freed us from oppressors. You've delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt, forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name. We gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. And full of joy, we sang together the words of Micha Mocha, which is, of course, every week for us to think about the miraculous in our own lives. Micha Mocha.
Micha Mocha b'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh, Norat v'hilot osef
ונאמר כי יפדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. And then for our own prayer for peace, a more domestic version of it, of peace in our homes, shalom bayit, of our prayer to be shielded from sickness, from war, from famine, from distress, and even from wrongdoing, as we offer the Hashivenu in the evening after Shema.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Hamidenu Malkeinu Ishmor Tzitzenu Uvoenu L'chaim Shalom Me'ata ve'od olam Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom Hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom Hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol yoshvei tevel. Page 97 or page 8 or page 17, as we go towards the tefillah, stand when you're ready as we sing those words, Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Adonai, Sefatai Tifta, Ufia Gita Hilatecha. Adonai, Sefatai Tifta, Ufia Gita Hilatecha.
Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'Imohot, U'mevi Gula Livnei V'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Hozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Meitim Ata Rav Lahoshia, Mashiv HaRuach uMorid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh uMorid HaTal, Machalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechaye Meitim Barachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofer Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayem Emunato Lishnei Afar, Mi hamocha ba'al gvorot, u'mi domelach, melech me'mit u'machaye u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lahachayot meitim, baruch ata Adonai, machaye hametim. Kadosh ata v'nora shamecha, ve'in lanu Elohim baladecha, baruch ata Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. And as we mark Shabbat and carve out that time, to let go of this strange week where actually today almost feels like a Monday, frankly. We're all out of sync, but yet still we get given this gift of Shabbat. So we sing Vashamru, to chant tonight Vashamru together.
Vashamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת, לדורתם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
Baruch ata Adonai Makadesh HaShabbat. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel. In your love, accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. Baruch ata Adonai she'otecha levadacha b'yera na'avod. We praise you, O God, whom alone we worship in reverence. And as we begin this Gregorian year, really an opportunity to think about what we feel grateful, appreciative for. At the beginning of this month of January, we've been in 5,800 and 5,786 for a while, but we are now in 2026, and we are really asked to just mark this moment by just trying to feel around in our own lives for what we feel grateful, appreciative, thankful for. We give thanks to you, Eternal One, who are our God, as you were the God of our ancestors. You're the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence that we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. Baruch ata Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulacha na'er lohodot.
Shalom
Ata Adonai, Oseh HaShalom. So today I shared in my thoughts about Shabbat, about this week's Torah portion where Jacob talks about his death and how that actually there's something deeply healthy about anticipating and preparing with loved ones about death. But actually tonight is not what I want to share, but to share that each of the patriarchs, we are told, brought something into life and into a way that we are like somehow ameliorated as people. Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, the three patriarchs that we talk about, even though we bless our boys to be like Ephraim and Manasseh, the children of Joseph, so we don't mention them when we want to be blessed, but we choose these two brothers who seem uncomplaining when they are blessed in the wrong order, and it is them that we are given as role models really in the way that we're given Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel and Leah. But actually we are told that one of the gifts that Jacob brings to the world is illness, which is really peculiar. And I kind of look out and I see Dan, who's a doctor, and I see Hazel, who's a nurse, and many of us know that illness is in no way a blessing for us to hold on to. But what Torah talks about is that he is the first person who is described as choleh, as ill, and is described as choleh to give his family a chance to be with him, a chance to be with him and talk to him and prepare themselves for what might yet come. And that somehow understanding his fragility and weakness gave them time to be with him and to talk about things. Before then, so we are told, death only happened in a sudden shock event, never through this slower experience of frailty. And Jacob, we're told, brings that. That is the gift that he gives to humanity. And although it's a strange gift, he didn't bring the gift of death. Death was always there, but he gave the gift of illness. And I think perhaps if we reflect in our own lives that illness is not only the harbinger of terrible things, but actually sometimes gives us a chance to see recovery, to see resilience, to be able to offer gratitude, appreciation for those that care, for those that we love. And I just think about the alternatives that really must have been understood of having no chance to bid those farewells, to have an opportunity to be with people. So as strange as it is, Jacob brought that gift of illness, and to just give us a moment to just try to find examples in our life where it has brought something to us, as well as the reverse when it has only brought hardship and difficulty and loss and sadness. But it's an event, it's a reality that exists in all of our lives, and really this portion is famous for bringing that example, choleh, the first time we see that word in the Torah. So just allowing us to just think for ourselves about illness, about recovery, about the response to illness and our own experiences of it. So before we sing Yula Ratzon tonight, it feels fitting that we name those in our congregation who are unwell and who I know appreciate being mentioned, being thought of in the congregation as they both reach towards recovery or manage their illness in the way that they are. So we think particularly tonight of Peggy Sherwood, of Graham Slater, of Sid Singer, of Beverly Aarons, who is reaching towards a working recovery. Dahlia, we've had your father, Louis, on our list, Louis Lyons, Erica Dweck, Patricia Hinson, Charlotte Dalton, and Howard Joseph. And I just pause a moment if there are other names. Lionel, of course, Lionel is not on this printed list, but Lionel, who I saw last week in hospital and I know is having a hard day today. Are there other names? So may they reach towards a refuah shlema, a full healing, and may they feel the love and support of those around them. Yehu l'ratzon.
Yehu l'ratzon nimrei fi v'hegon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri v'goni Adonai tzuri v'goni Yehu l'ratzon nimrei fi v'hegon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri v'goni Adonai tzuri v'goni
Oseh shalom.
Oseh shalom b'romav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Oseh shalom b'romav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Thank you, Hannah. So we are going to go. If you have a Lev Chadash, I'd like you to turn to page 213 as an alternative Aleinu, which feels like a perfect blessing for the 2nd of January. Let's stand. Let's read responsively. And then all that has divided us will merge. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind. And then both women and men will be strong. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will live in harmony with each other and earth. And we turn to page 521, just as we complete the alternative Aleinu with these words. V'nema v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai Echad, Ushamo, Ushamo, Ushamo Echad. So we turn to Kaddish, page 524. And if you're using Resold, you can find Kaddish on page 27. So we think particularly of deaths and yard sites that fall in our congregation. We think of Vilma Kaplan, who died this week and whose funeral will be on Tuesday. Zichrona Livracha. We also think of the yard sites, the anniversaries of death that fall this Shabbat. Estella Jacobs, wife of Lionel Jacobs. Howard Hamilton, husband of Amanda Hamilton, beloved member of Finchley Progressive Synagogue. Jaime Frankiel, father of Betty Lewis. John Slater, father of Roger Slater. Neil Branston, husband of Marilyn Branston. Nuri Narchin, husband of Andrea Narchin. Richard Jacques Abram, brother-in-law of Ray Dweck. Richard Tobias, husband of Brenda Tobias. Felix and Mary Huttra, mother and father of Paul Huttra and Caroline Sansoni. Rosalind Hardoon, mother of Janat Barak, grandmother of Mayan and great-grandmother of Itan and Lilibet. Anthony Levy, father of Kathy Levy Romana. Morris Goldsheim, father of Angela Wharton and Philip Goldsheim, her uncle. Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing, and may those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted just a little in their loss as we say the words of Kaddish with them. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, bi'amad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'hayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dochol Beit Yisrael, Bagala v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mavorach le'olam almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'av v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu. Leila min kol berchata v'shurata. Tushbahata v'nechemata. Da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shamaya. V'hayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol b'nei Adam, v'imru amen. So let's sit down, and we are going to end with Havenu Shalom Alechem, which the words literally are, let us bring peace, ease, wholeness, integrity, for this new year of ours. Havenu Shalom Alechem, Havenu Shalom Alechem, Havenu Shalom Alechem, Havenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Alechem, Havenu Shalom Alechem, Havenu Shalom Alechem, Havenu Shalom Alechem, Havenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Alechem. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's gather for Kiddush. And make sure that you greet someone you've never seen before, you don't recognize, even if they tell you they've been a member of this synagogue for 90 years and you've just arrived, it's still your responsibility. Say hi to everyone. Hannah, thank you so much. There's something so joyful about a child of the community being back as an adult on our bima with us. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.